Right, so we're doing a special episode today. We are in New York, right? We have a couple guests. Again, this is Dai Good Talk, and the guests are Caribbean based. We have people from Trinidad and Saint Lucia, and we'll start on this end. Come right around, and everybody will just introduce themselves. Sile.
Yeah, Celia Jordan from San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago.
Jalisa Jaikaran, I'm from St. Madeleine.
Bree, take it over. They know me.
So my name is Brianna. I'm American, but my dad is from Castries, St. Lucia, and my mom is from Good St. Lucia.
My name is Dexter Phillips, and I'm from Plaisance Park Point up here, Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, so we thought long and hard on how we gonna delve into this episode. We didn't want it to be a traditional relationship type. We wanted it to be a little more informative in terms of those who may be looking at possible options of migrating or going abroad to do business or school or study, that those different type of things. So we may reach to relationships, but we may not. Right? But we're gonna start with a couple questions that we would have picked. Again, we'll start from on the right, come right or wrong, and everybody would answer based on their experience and how they feel with how things are going. So, number one, what inspired your decision to move from Trinidad and Tobago to the US of A?
Right. So, firstly, my three older brothers they were living in New York before. The only thing that was keeping me in Trinidad was my job. I was working. Petrotrin was a relatively good job at that time, so I was comfortable. All right. I just want to stay in Trinidad, right? Company closed down in November. I was here in December. I would have been traveling every year since 2006. I've been to New York every single year since 2006, and I just moved here permanently in December 2018. Right, so it's just the situation with work. I just decided, all right, as soon as I was finished, I was out.
Yeah, work was basically the only thing keeping you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See?
Well, it's a little bit different for me because I actually was born in New York, and I grew up in Trinidad. So since I was one, I was in Trinidad. You know how it is. Your grandmother and your aunt and all your cousins raise you. And I have three brothers and one sister, and everybody was in New York except me. But work again too was keeping me in Trinidad. That's where I became a makeup artist. So I was working at Mac and, just kind of like, yeah, good here, And then eventually I was like, you know what, I think I should probably move to the US and pursue this on a bigger level. So that's kind of why I decided to move to New York,
Okay.
which is
Great.
a very privileged way to move to New York because I already had citizenship. But
The easiest way.
that's one thing I tell my mother I do right. I'm like, thank you very much because I was almost born in Canada, which I mean, I like Canada.
You're still in
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah,
You're still
it's
in
still
bad.
bad, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
So we went to no.
Oh, well, yeah. I was born in Brooklyn, and then I moved to St. Lucia when I was a couple of months old because my parents had to finish school. And then I moved back to the US when I was 6 to go to elementary school.
All right. So for me, it was I guess we all have our different stories. I actually not foreigner to leaving the country because I was trying to pursue football at a point in time in my career, and I was in
Wait.
England for
Was it this or was it?
no
Nah.
soccer for the
Soccer,
Americans.
okay,
For the
okay.
Americans.
The real thing.
Let's I see you start off bad already.
Only football,
Like what?
yeah, just that, yeah.
Football, I was trying in like my late teens, so I was in England for a little bit.
Okay.
And I actually was here before in St. Francis, Brooklyn, for a little bit as well. But I went back home and I was comfortable. Life was good. I did my degree, was working in environmental health services and stuff like that, and had a girlfriend, had everything, and I was honestly comfortable. I really did not care to come here, and needless to say, well, the relationship didn't work out. But also, I started becoming more interested in public health and working like with infectious diseases and stuff like that. And the CDC, as we know here, how big and important that is. Uh that is kind of became my goal. I was like, I want to work for the CDC. So I was like, how am I going to achieve that? So I was like, okay, let me come here. And I ended up doing my master's in public health at St. John's in 2018. So that's the reason why I'm here. I mean, I still love home bad and I still miss home, but that I had to come to pursue that dream.
So, with the exception of you, Brie, I would say everybody's just basically had to come out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, simply.
Yeah. And that would have made them make the decision to come out here to pursue more,
Mm.
generally speaking. Yeah.
My situation was kind of forced.
Yeah.
It was not a decision, it was just forced.
Well, yeah, like it's you're forced into coming out of your comfort zone. Things just happen like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will be your choice, and then
Yeah.
sometimes it will be something you can't really debate or challenge. You just need to pour on your big pants and just make it happen.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Well, when
Yeah.
you're joining me?
I think he's comfortable right now. I think he's comfortable. He look pretty comfortable to me, right? In the
I'm
middle
comfortable
there.
here right
You
now.
comfortable? Yeah, nah.
On the couch.
I calculated. I putting things in place. Things coming in place step by step. So pretty soon you might just see me here all the time.
Yeah.
Things coming. It
And I
coming.
believe you really want to go England anyway, so we go get into
yeah,
that. We go get that.
But
You
no,
know-
I mean,
That's a whole next conversation.
yeah. But I mean, it depends. Yeah, I mean, certain passports give you that access to any country. You understand? So I
Facts,
mean,
facts.
is it whoever stronger, and whoever accepting. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you share some of the most significant differences you've observed between life in Trinidad and Tobago and life in the USA? Yours is going to be different.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trinidad is very relaxed. Trinidad is a whole relaxed. Everything is just cool. You could just go about you could get food from a friend easily.
Yeah.
Out here, it's like hustle and bustle. Everybody. When I was here on vacation before, I used to wonder if people even used to pray. Because it's like you go out, you come
Peace.
in late, you just wake up, you just head out, you need to catch your train. I see like old people running for the train, rain, hail, sleet, snow. So the work, how to put it, the attitude for work is different. Also, for some reason, here people are aggressive but sensitive at the same time. Right? So as soon as the light changes, the car's honk.
Cool.
People don't say excuse me.
No,
People
no.
don't do those types of things. People just bounce past you. But then, if you talk to someone just stern, why you yelling, right? So that's another difference. Also, kids, like you need to speak to them differently. Like I grew up playing football. Right?
Yeah.
So
She'll get it.
Yeah.
She should get it. She should get it with that Caribbean roots.
So like back then, if you playing nonsense, someone would be like, "Yo, come off the field." You're
Yeah.
doing nonsense. Here, you need to find something that they're doing good. Even if they didn't even make a good pass, you might, hey, I like how you're running in this space. Just for them to open their mind to listen to you. Because if you go to them with that same approach, they're gonna like close up, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there are many other differences, but I'll just leave some for you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to agree with all of what you said, so I don't really need to repeat all of that. I
Yeah.
I do think though, growing up, home, we just naturally had to have manners.
Yeah.
I will get in trouble if I do not say good morning and good afternoon.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
crazy.
feel like as I've gotten older, I'm in my 30s now, I don't like people hitting me up and you have no manners. That's actually one of my pet peeves now. Don't just hit me up and just be like, hey, unless it's an emergency, so we real cool.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that's one thing that my grandmother and my, my
Instill.
family instill in us, and I think it's, honestly, I feel like it's something that everybody should do, because if you want something from somebody, you have to give to get, right? So you don't want to be like, hey, like I now meet you and be like, give me this
Yeah.
thing now. You know what I mean? Like, hi, how you going? Good morning, good afternoon. So I really feel like over here you don't really have that in some cases. And if you see somebody in the road, every time you pass an adult home, good morning or good afternoon, and it doesn't matter if you're a stranger or not. But here, if you do that, they probably won't even turn their head, because they probably will think that you're just crazy or you're just going, But that's one thing that is very different, just like how you interact with strangers. And there's so many other things like the food.
Well,
But I feel like we probably will talk about that later.
Yeah.
But that's one thing, and I mean, I agree with everything else
Yeah.
you said too. And obviously the opportunities.
Yeah.
Clearly, yeah.
Just a touch with what Celia would have mentioned. For me, I mean, I haven't spent the length of time that you guys spend over here, but I'm here frequently, and I travel a lot. And what I would say is just to reiterate what Celia said, is that it's when you compare the culture here or abroad compared to home, it's a more relaxed culture, as he said. I find home you don't really get much people who hungry and aggressive for the extra in life. People content, and they content with, at the end of the day, if I don't have, I could ask mommy, I could ask daddy, I could ask a friend, I could ask the neighbor, and something will happen. Somebody will give in. But over here is a big difference. And I think that sparks the hunger, the drive in different people. Because I've always heard America is the land of opportunity, is the land where dreams come true. Right? And it's a total different culture shock when you compare to home and to what you experience over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, just comparing like the US to America, I feel like it is more relaxed. There is more like an emphasis on like doing things at your own time and like having that type of rest and like space. I feel like here there's no space to like really like rest. There's no days where it's like this is like, on Sunday it's
Sunday,
like
yeah.
in the Caribbean
Like you
it's
go
like
to
Sunday
church,
everything
just,
slows
yeah.
down, but like here it's like every
Yes.
day it's like
Every day.
back to back to back.
That's
So I feel like there's less of a burnout where people here get really burned out, but you
Really
can't
quick.
yeah. And I also feel like St. Lucia is more family oriented. People are very straightforward. I feel like America in general, you have to be like nasty nice. I always say it. Where it's like you have this like friendly like exterior, but like no matter what you're thinking, no matter what's going on, especially like in New York, it's very like you have to be friendly. You have to know how to socialize. And I feel like people are more generous in the Caribbean, but I feel like it's because there's more abundance in terms of like just fruit being like available or people farming on the land. Like, I mean, my grandma has like a plot of land where she has like dashing and nuts and all this stuff, and she just shares with people.
We could guess somewhere.
Yeah. Where here, like, you can't just walk and see like fruits growing or people farming and stuff like that. So I think that's a huge difference. And also, like America is very capitalist, business forward, where I think the Caribbean, it's more. It's not like
not
like that. It's more. I
Community.
don't know. Yeah, it's more like nature, like oriented, and more. There's not like as much like emphasis on business
And making money.
and making money.
Okay.
I think that's the difference.
Well, I mean, all of y'all definitely give all the answers, but for me, I agree with everything. I'm probably just to sum it up, I guess. The difference for me is the community culture that we have in the Caribbean. So it will kind of touch on all the things that you were saying, because like we at home, we have that neighbor, we have the friends, we have people that you can go out and you can talk to and you can get help. Your neighbors, you say hi, you have manners. Everybody you grow up with people, you call them your auntie and your uncle, and they're just your neighbor, like, but it's just that it takes a village to grow a child type thing. And the community, well, hopefully it's still like that, but the community builds up one another. Over here, I'll be honest with you, I know probably two of my neighbors. If you ask us, I know probably two of my
You probably
neighbors.
never even see them.
Yeah, right. Like you do, when put in a position to communicate. Yes, they communicate, but beyond that is like everybody goes back to their life. Nobody, the interaction, the community, culture is not really there. But that also kind of lends into what Kendall is saying, that sometimes we do get comfortable in that communities, because we know it's not, I don't want to say a safety net, but you do have that comfort of people around you, people supporting you. Personally, I love that. But over here, you don't really have it as much. So you really have to, all right, I'm on the grind. I have to go get this. I have to do this. I can't depend on going my granny for food on Sunday. I have to I have to cook it myself. I have to go buy, or whatever the case may be. So that just the difference in cultures encompassing all that you guys are saying. That's what I've been experiencing so far over here.
And to add to that a little, as you said, it takes the community to grow a child. Like teenagers talk crazy out here, bro.
Yeah.
Like crazy. So like some of the things I would hear people say on the train and the things that they do. When I was growing up in Trinidad, I wouldn't even think about doing those things, because I know any random adult could just hit me or some kind of thing, or just pull my socks up then. So here, kids do whatever they want, everybody do whatever they want, and then everybody just mind their business, heads down in their phone and stuff. So that that community to raise a child, that happens in Trinidad, but not here.
Yeah.
Not here.
It's very different.
Yeah. Which I liked it, because when I was in high school, my parents threatened to send me down to St. Lucia because I was so out of control.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
What I would do is I would straighten myself out for like a month or two. I would just stay home, and then I would like go back to like
wilding out.
Yeah.
But why were you so fearful to go back to Lucia?
Cause my mom was gonna send me to where she lives, and she lives in a village, and it's called Mikud, and there's there's probably like 4 places to go. My grandma, like my family there is like very well known, so it's like you go down the street, everyone is reporting back what you're doing. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going back there. I was doing way too much here, like especially like you can, because there's so many people that live here, you're kind of anonymous, so it's like no one's gonna tell you shit. You can do whatever you want, like you're just like running around.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Your parents could be like, oh, you're grounded, but you could just walk out and take the train or take an Uber.
Yeah.
The neighbor not going to report to your parents about it because they don't have, they don't even know the neighbors like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really care.
Everybody's busy at the end of the day. Anyway.
How do you maintain a connection with your Trinidadian culture while living in the USA?
I live in Flatbush. I live in Flatbush. So Flatbush is,
you just walk outside.
Yeah, it's like little Caribbean. So you could get the food, you could get you're hearing the accents, it's very close to home. You're hearing soca music, everything.
You just go to fets?
Who, me? Yeah. Not too often. But yeah, I go to Caribbean parties. That's
Caribbean parties. That's what we had to call it. That's what we had to call it.
Caribbean parties.
I go. But I explore all all different cultures, but yeah, I still go to Caribbean stuff, the food. You think I miss is like the authenticity of the food. You get something close to it, but there's something missing.
Listen, yeah.
Like,
Right.
why you put in the same chana that you put in doubles in a roti? It's not the same thing. It's
It's
cooked.
definitely not.
It's
It's
cooked
definitely
differently.
not.
Yeah, it's cooked differently now. So simple things like that. Yeah, but I still get the same Trinidadian experience.
So you still in Trinidad, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trinidad
Yeah,
2.0.
yeah.
Minus the weather.
Mm.
I think it's the same thing too.
Yeah.
And just like I feel like the traditions with the family that you do have here, like for Thanksgiving, we not eating no turkey. You know what I mean? Like we'll cook some Trini food, we'll have some other stuff, but like little things like that.
Kalalu.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah.
With the callaloo, like the ham, like things like that. So I think really it's mostly how you celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I live in a Caribbean neighborhood too. I live in Crown Heights, so I'm always at Trinidad Golden Place.
Yeah.
Or like going to like other places. There's like ton of Caribbean people, and then my mom is super Caribbean, so it's always like we do like Journée Creole or like doing like celebrating different things and eating the food, and like also like I talk to my grandma all the time on FaceTime, so it's like I basically live in Nico. So it's cool.
So for me, it's a little different. I am actually in the Bronx,
Mhm.
so I'm not
Wow.
not the Caribbean part of the Bronx
Oh,
either,
yeah.
right? So around me is more Hispanic or actually white Italian because I'm in Chugs next. So I don't really have it right outside for me, but I have my friends
Yeah.
that I do try to make sure that I go see. I end up in Brooklyn
Mhm.
and Queens because Queens is where I was before. So I end up in Brooklyn and Queens a lot of the times. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I lime too much in the Bronx. Not really. Like if I go into a Spanish spot with Spanish people, my friends and stuff, I'll go. But I try to get food, obviously, and I cook a lot from so still making sure. Yeah. So I still try to, I will make my curry, I will make my roti, I will make my pilau and thing to make sure that,
You got
I feel like it, and
We going by you weekend.
we going look, I just saying, I'll make a good roti. I just say my roti, all right, right? So I also, since I don't really have immediate family, I have like cousins and stuff, I do be on the phone a lot of the times with my family because they live back in Trinidad. So like my sister calls me all the time. Like my mom calls it. I'm like, Mom, I'm 34. I'm 34.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, but I'm the youngest though, so she missed the baby or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But so like that is how I mostly stay connected to it. When I come outside, I hear Spanish music, but when I put my headphones in, I hear soca, I hear dancehall, I hear all the other stuff. So it's not too bad. I think I keep her close enough for the circumstances.
Yeah, I think that I meant to I was supposed to mention that as well because I talk to my best friend in Tobago every day, and I feel
Right.
like once you talk to your people every day, you kind of don't feel disconnected.
You
Yeah.
feel very close, and then
Yeah.
you hear any accent all the time
Yeah.
too.
Right.
So you
And
ain't
then
gonna
when
lose
something
it.
happen, you can be like, "Gil, hey, that's not," because nobody else will know. If you say that, nobody else know what you're
No,
talking
no,
about. So
no.
yeah,
I can't even
you
say
can
we're
really
online.
express yourself, and
Yeah.
Can you, Scary, you encounter so many different people from different countries, cultures. What has been your experience?
Mm.
And how is that when it comes to dating? So it's two questions in one here.
Okay. You're looking at me. I feel like you want to talk to me. Is it that you want me to go first or you want to
So now we're going to see it. We start with
Go ahead,
Celine.
please.
So
Thank
you
you.
encounter people from so many different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
What's the question?
Yeah.
It's two questions in
Yeah,
one, right? As a merge. You encounter so many different people from different countries, cultures. What has been your experience? And how is that when it comes to dating?
Okay, so my experience here is that you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to network. people don't talk to you. You need to actually approach people. If you
Yeah.
want something, you need to go and say something. I do personal training. I used to do it independently, mainly with Caribbean people. And to expand, I actually went to work at a gym so that I could interact with people. And the only way to succeed there is that you have to talk to people. I was comfortable before, so
Yeah.
I put myself in an uncomfortable position to grow. So with that, I would have interacted with people from Italy, all these different places. Plus the area is a lot of different spots, Ethiopian spots, Mexican, all these things. And it's like, it's very intriguing just to see how people interact, what people consider fun, right? Like, you're not seeing people whining and things. It's like, I notice Ethiopian people, some people dance with their shoulders. It's like fun for them. They're having a grand time. House music, no words, people just whatever. Dating now, like, you need to know that if you see a girl today and you don't talk to her today, you might never in life see her again, right?
So much people here.
Yeah, you would never see her again, right?
Yeah.
Right. I've had people talk to me about like a 3-second rule. If you see a girl and you make eye contact for 3 seconds,
Game
you
over.
need to approach, right? Then coming here on vacation, you would go out, you dance with a girl. So in Trinidad, it's like, all right, I go into the bathroom, and you'd leave her there, and if she's still there when you come back, you know she on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She got.
if you go, bro.
You're holding up that pee. You're holding up.
Alex man dug in the ears now, and she watching you like normal, like she not doing anything wrong, right? So I would see men like grab girls and plant them outside the bathroom with them kind of way.
Oh, my
Meet them
Lord.
tonight, and like you plant
Yeah.
them outside the bathroom. So Trinidad, when it comes to dating and thing, it's very well for us because it's what we know. It was like straightforward. If a girl like you would know, and you would talk to her. Here, because girls are accustomed to men approaching them, men very
So much.
aggressive,
Yeah.
and then men, like, they very materialistic here. They spend a lot of money, right? So dating is like, it's slightly different. It's different for us because we have to like figure out what these people, what they like, what they appreciate, and it's they new to us because we just chill. I would say most Caribbean people are chill now. I don't know how it is for a female.
Trini.
I think you will tell us on this side.
So wait, Trinidad, they don't horn here?
They don't what?
They don't horn here?
Yeah,
No,
she
we
went
don't do that.
going straight towards it.
That was even in the
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
I
What does horn mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
That
you
makes
tell
sense.
her I
Explain.
a Trinidad, you tell her.
Porn is cheating.
Oh,
Cheating.
I didn't even know how to
Yeah.
pronounce that word.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know how to pronounce that word.
I know where she
Porn is
comes
cheating.
from.
Too
Yeah,
much competition. Really.
porn is cheating.
I mean, the question. The thing is, in the industry that I work in, I interact with so many different types of people, and like you said, you just kind of have to start to understand. Everybody has their own type of culture, and like what we might understand as like, oh, that's not disrespectful. That might be disrespectful to somebody else. So I really think it's just a matter of like being exposed to different cultures, different people, and putting yourself out there in those situations to meet different people. When it comes to dating, I mean, it really is just a matter of, for me, is who the person is. It doesn't matter where they're from per se. And like, I used to live in Brooklyn, and I don't feel like I'm surrounded by a lot of like Trini men, or Caribbean men. I've dated other people, men from other islands and stuff. But for the most part, like, I don't know. I just feel like a man is a man. It don't matter where they're from.
Same.
Yeah.
No,
She just said, see, that's it. That's it. That's
basically
it.
all based on the experience and
Yeah.
the communication.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, to answer the question, oh, sorry, I keep skipping. I am so sorry, my dear.
Wait, is it you? You're not.
Me, I.
Oh, he's just the moderator. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I feel like it's different because I grew up here, so I've never dated someone that was St. Lucian.
Mm.
But how
That would have been
explain the dating
interesting.
scene? How
Oh,
was
here I feel like well, America has their like own dating scene. I feel like New York, it's like hookup central.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, there's so many options here, and then there's all these dating apps. People are just like meeting people every 2 seconds, so it's like very hard for you to like hold someone's attention. I feel like, especially like my mom is like an older, she's like a boomer, and she's like Caribbean, so she's like, you gotta like cook, clean, and fuck well to get a man. And then I'm just like, it's not I'm like, it's not like that anymore. Like you gotta be a little mean.
you gotta be what? Me?
Yeah.
So
No, I mean,
when you said she had a cook and clean?
No. I'm just saying, mom is in bad advice. It don't sound like bad advice, but hey,
No,
teach
but-
her what.
I mean, back then that was like the secret to success,
Right,
but now
right,
it's
no, I
not
got
like
you,
that. You really
I
have
got
to like
Mhm.
do some digging and investigating and really like,
And be a little mean.
yeah, because men aren't like.
Yeah.
I feel like back in her generation, like men were gentlemen. Like now it's not like
You gotta
that.
rough them up a little bit.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't say
feel
rough
this-
them
Yeah,
up. but
I just have a feeling this will take the conversation
It's a whole different-
no,
level.
but you really, especially like in New York, you really have to like find out who this person is on
Yeah,
a like a
understand.
really real level. You got to really dig deep and
Yeah, that's true.
find out who they are. And in terms of like cultures, I've dated my friends call me like flavor queen because I've dated like white, Asian, Hispanic, everything, and I agree. Like men are men. So
What I mean?
That kind of issue.
I'm not telling from.
I feel
man,
like there's like cultural differences and there's like slight differences, but I feel like when it comes down to it, like most guys are like pretty much the same.
Is that a
Is
good
it?
thing or a bad thing?
Well, I'm not someone that I don't hate men, but I
Okay.
feel like you
That's
have
good.
you have to be careful
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be
Yeah.
selective and you have to really find out who men and women, you have to find out who that person is before
Yeah.
you give them your heart.
I can agree with that. I can
Yes.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, for me, my introduction here was in school. So obviously there's a wide array of students in the school. So I had like no choice but to meet different people from different cultures. And it's so funny because every time I have to present, they can't understand what I'm saying. But, but on that, the accent. No, I know to really mention it too much just yet, but with regards to the dating scene,
Yeah.
I would think the accent works for us in our
Yeah.
favor, right?
Yeah, where you from?
Not so much in New
It's
York.
it's stereotypical,
Not so
but
much in New York. I don't think so.
because
He
every
does.
right, that's what I'm saying. Like every
No, I feel like there's so many Trini people. It's not like
oh no, it's not as a
novel.
surprise, but I'm just saying it's
People
a
like it.
it's a
Yeah.
nice
Like a
accent,
little
you know. So
seasoning on
a
it,
little sprinkle,
Yeah.
so they always kind of are a little intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's game set and match, but it always kind of helps. But so yeah, being around the different cultures, and I mean, I live now, as I say, like I live mainly around like Hispanic people and stuff like that. I think that the differences, as you all mentioned, in the cultures are there, but the similarities, when you find the similarities, it feels so good to me sometimes. Like, oh
Right.
yeah, you like that, like we like to dance, for
Yeah.
example.
Right.
Even though whining is one thing,
Right.
but like with the Hispanic people, they love to dance too. Now it's different,
Yeah.
but like going to these parties and and you
Right.
all hit it off and stuff, and it just feels good. Like, okay, like I like this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
if it was a situation where they don't like to dance, then it might be a
Right.
little bit of issue. But in the dating scene, yes, there are differences. Usually, once you talk and you're funny and you can make it work. It don't matter. It don't matter. We
Yeah.
barely could be talking the same language, but you can make it work. So I like to focus on the positives and the similarities that we do have.
I like that. I like the dating aspect. I like that.
Of course, you like dating. That's like good talk, right?
I get talk. What about friends, right? Do you have a lot of Caribbean friends here, or is it hard to make those connections? Why I ask that too is because it's noticeable that part of the disconnect abroad is that with us on a Friday, Saturday, you know, it's a lime, as we would say,
Mhm.
with the crew. Your work crew, your friends, whatever. And to me, coming out here, that is not the norm here.
Hmm.
Right? So how do you all deal with that aspect? Because that's a big culture shock.
So I I would consider, well, majority of my friends in Trinidad. They are in Trinidad. I communicate with them all the time. I know a lot of people here, Caribbean people, Trinidadian people, through, well, my brothers and all of that. For me, I like to explore. I would go to places by myself. I would go to bars by myself just to experience new things. Um, Trin- Trini people could do the same thing every week, go to the same places. For me, I didn't. It's like I leave Trinidad. I don't want to. I didn't leave Trinidad to come to Trinidad. Basically,
Mm.
I want to just find out like exactly what's going on out here. Then you could go try different foods, but I know if I want to get Trini food, I know where to go.
Yeah.
If I want to hear soca music, I
You know
know
what to do.
Yeah.
where to go. Right, so it's like it it's very like friends and stuff. I would consider myself to be at a disadvantage because I grew up in Trinidad,
Mm.
right? And a lot of the people who are here, they already established. And I mean, I don't know if it's like a black people thing or a Caribbean thing, but a lot of times people don't really get together and help each other. So it's like I feel like I'm forced to carve my
Your
own
own path.
lane.
Own way, yeah.
So I would have to go out and explore to meet new people and build my network so that
Yeah.
I could actually
True,
grow,
true.
right? So it's really, again, it's all come down to communication, socializing, networking, and then the friends that I have here are not open to the experiences that I want to have, right? They're not gonna walk into a bar with random people, you understand, of all different cultures and stuff and different music that they don't know. They don't want to do that. So I prefer to move by myself. I don't want to be
Yeah.
responsible for you having a good time. I don't want you to come here and just be
Yeah.
down with your
Right.
phone now.
Yeah.
So I would say I move alone many times. So yeah, it's different. It's different. Mhm.
For me, because of I'm a freelancer, so I think sometimes a lot of people sometimes you make friends because of where you work or where you go to school, and like you were saying, I've been here for 10 years, but some people they have their friend group because they went to college and they already have their kind of crew. So I have a couple of Trini friends, but the other day I went to this thing called Ad Week, and me and a girl was talking, and as soon as she hear my accent, she was like, "Oh my god, you're from Trinidad!" So we kind of clicked just like that, and now we're like, "All right, let's try and like hang out." We go in private, Ryan, like so it's just like okay, like it's nice to actually
Dexter
have
Lux.
No.
it's nice to have like friends that understand because after being here for so long, it's like, yeah, I don't really have a lot of Caribbean friends, but I have other friends. I mean, not Trinidadian friends, sorry, but I have other friends from like different islands, like Jamaican or, from different places. So for me, it's not really like, I'm not necessarily seeking friends from a certain place. It's like obviously who they are, but it's nice to have people from here because you could just be, you could be yourself even more.
I think that's definitely true. Just I don't think people realize that because people are like New York is like a melting pot, but like New York is also like extremely segregated. Like everyone's in their own little pocket, and like most of the people that I'm close friends with, I feel like because they understand me the most and they get my background and stuff are Caribbean. So I feel like those are the people that I stay in touch with the most and I feel like are my close friends. But I went to a white high school, I went to a white college, so um I'm very I also have worked at like white places. So where it's like I'm gonna be the only Black girl there. So I feel like I'm comfortable like going to being the only Black person in the room and going to different places, like going to places that play house music or going to places where they're playing electronic or EDM. And I feel like it's interesting. It's cool. I mean, they party like totally differently
They
than
definitely do.
totally,
Yeah.
totally differently than Caribbean people do. But I think it's interesting and it's nice to kind of step out of your comfort zone and you know,
Definitely.
and you have like a whole like it's another world because you can experience so many different things and have like so many other different opportunities. So yeah.
Well, I kind of again similar to a lot of the things you've been saying, but like my friends, I grew up in Trinidad too. I've only been here 5 years, so most of my friends are back home. I'm a close friends, I should say, my close friends. I do have a couple that I grew up with that came up here, waiting on Kendall, right? So but for the most part, like, and I'll be honest with you, I miss them, because when you talk about linemen and stuff like that, like on Fridays or on Saturdays or whatever, we work, like, we would lime in our area, like by our houses, and like it's 5-6 of us there chilling, liming, talking shit, drinking, or whatever the case is, and just that's the lime for the night. Over here, not so much for me. But I also don't mind staying inside. I'm not a homebody, but I don't mind staying inside. But
wait, can I ask you, are you an earth sign?
No, I'm a Libra. So that's
Okay,
air, right?
yeah.
You know this
That's
sign.
air?
Yeah,
That's what?
Yeah, I think it's like
Yeah,
air sign,
yeah.
Libra.
Well, that's what she
Oh,
asked if
honestly,
you're air sign.
No,
No,
earth.
Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So
Honestly, first time hearing that too. But I'm a Libra too.
yeah. Oh, you
Oh,
see,
okay.
good people here, right?
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
I only care about the
Just
Libras.
saying.
That's all I say when it comes to the size. I only care about the Libras.
Yeah, and I guess
Fire and water.
I don't know. I
I'm
said
I'm Earth, I'm
Gemini.
a Capricorn.
Mhm.
You're a cat. Okay, so you're earth.
so afterwards we'll find out what
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean.
figure out. Yeah,
What I
man.
mean.
Yeah,
those are Gemini.
I feel
say
like
that
I'm
no.
avatar right
Yeah,
now.
I didn't really pay attention to that like that.
You know what the hell going
I
on?
know
Let's
what
talk
you're
about
talking
it.
about.
Libras, all you know is good people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all we need to
yeah,
know,
yeah.
right? So, yeah, I have some Trinidadian friends, not much, kind of scattered who in Brooklyn, who in Queens, who wherever. So, like, they would have to call me to come out. I'd be like, hey, let's go and do something, and then I will go. If my friends of the other cultures call me, sometimes I will go out. Sometimes, if I'm not feeling the vibe, I'll be honest with you. If I'm not feeling it, I'll be like, nah, I good. I'm gonna stay inside. Like, if I fed up here Spanish music, I'll be like,
Right.
I ain't feeling to hear that tonight. I wouldn't go out, but I do miss, and as I say, it feels good when you hear another Trinidad. You're like, oh my god, it's so excited. So in the hospital where I work, every time a Trini come in and they hear, it's like, oh my god, they're so excited.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you swear we friends
Yeah.
from how people, you know that person? No, I don't know them, but they come from Trinidad. So it's just a comfort thing.
Yeah.
So I do like those experiences. That it feels good when you get it. But I probably, if I was in an area where it had more Caribbean or just more Trinis, I probably might be outside more. I probably might be doing more,
Right.
linemen and them type of stuff. But I think I have a good balance. And don't make me out to be a homebody. Yeah, I'll be outside sometimes.
I think just to add to what you all would have mentioned is like when you're home back in the Caribbean, you could like you're going by a friend.
Mhm.
You don't have a pre-plan. You could just show up and say, "Bye, outside by you.
Yeah.
I come to check
Yep.
you."
Mm-hmm.
Here, you had a pre-plan because everybody busy now.
Yeah.
Everybody had a life, everything going.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then as you say, some people in our next state or the next part of the year. So
going far.
yeah, you had a pre-plan. It don't be just hey, I show up and I come in by you. Hey, it's not like that.
Well, every time you come, we just make it happen. Though.
Yeah, we do. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that.
We don't have to wait on him though, but
Where are some of the best places that have authentic Caribbean food? Because usually it's a bit difficult to get that.
Mm.
Yeah. excited. Get
I
excited.
wait
to
till,
go
yeah, I
now.
wait till they hear these ones.
You get
Now you want to
excited,
go
yeah.
first? Let you go first. Let
You get
you.
excited.
I wanna hear this.
Okay. So my best friend in middle school, her aunt owns sugarcane, and I really like that place.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I heard
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Trini.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trinidad Golden Place, amazing Trinidadian.
Golden Palace.
Is it Palace?
Yeah, Palace. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which palace
it
is
might
it?
be. It's on Nostrand,
Nostrand,
Nostrand, yeah,
and
Had a
St.
Golden
John's.
Palace in Marbella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I know that too. Yeah, I know that too.
Yeah, my sister used to work there. They have like the curry crab, the Chinese Trinidadian food, and stuff like
Mhm,
Yeah,
that.
Trinidadian Chinese.
Yeah, Alley's on Fulton and Nostrand.
Uh-huh.
They have the best bus up with the roti and then the
Roti.
goat. Yeah, roti
Not that right.
and the goat. And then they have like all these like little Chinese places where they have like the chubbies and the Bigfoot and like all that different stuff.
You chubby, any Bigfoot? Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I will
you
say,
never been
though-
to Trinidad?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I
But
will
I-
say, sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
Also, what is St. Lucian people own that, but it's like deep in not footprints. What's the other one?
Sweet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
sweet,
well know
okay.
too.
Yeah. I will say though, Ali's the bar too thick. Well, the last
too
time I
thick for
went,
you?
yeah, it
What
wasn't
is
that
it called?
good. Ali's the place that have
No,
doubles.
what was? Oh, it's bar. You said we saying bar
Bar.
too.
Oh,
Bara.
They-
What
so
is
they-
bar?
roti. That's
So you
it.
know, you had
That's the
doubles,
doubles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the
so the
two-
flower.
yeah, the
flower
two
bottle
pieces,
bar,
yeah. But Kenan and I actually went to Jasmine's. You
Mhm.
could- you like the food? You
Yeah,
had
it's
some
good.
pieces,
It was
alright.
good.
It was
good.
a Jamaican
A
place.
nice Jamaican place.
But
yeah.
I will say that the jerk wings was incredible.
Well, good. Yeah.
Wait,
And
wait,
I
wait.
just it's called Jasmine's
It's in Brooklyn?
Caribbean. No, it's actually on 46th Street, which is so
Oh,
uncommon because if you're
yeah.
going, if
Oh.
you need good Caribbean food, you need to go to Brooklyn.
I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
there.
And
Hold on now.
and I just get real upset when I order jerk wings and it's barbecue chicken. Because
no,
exactly.
Sure,
Oh, it's
sure,
just like
that's
things like
terrible.
yes, I just went to another place. I wouldn't say the name, but
Mm.
it was horrible. But Jasmine's, I mean, I have dietary restrictions now, but I know for sure Trinity and Queens.
Right, I was to say I had to stand up for Queens
Ah,
here because
Trinity.
already
Trinity
talking about
and
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
telling you about that, right?
Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Yes.
Brooklyn. I was
That
to
is
say
to me that's the top of the that's the top
That's
of
the
the
best
I was
one.
telling her that,
But
like,
for like what? Like,
Trinidadian
everything. They have
food.
you ever went to
everything.
Chile?
yeah.
They have
And the
Whenever you go there, you have a long line, no?
yeah, and you can get
yeah.
Chinese food.
The Bacon Shack, still for me, is the best Bacon Shack I've had here. Obviously, home is different, right? I don't know, maybe it's a little sunny again when you're on the beach or something. I don't know what it is, but it is the Trinity Bacon Shack, best I've had here. Trinity for me is the top.
What about A&E? You ever went A&E for doubles and aloo pie?
A&E? No,
A&E and Nostran.
No,
That's
I haven't.
the best.
I
It's
haven't.
like not far from Ali's.
and who?
A&E.
I've been to
Like
Ali's.
letter A and A. Yeah.
I've been to Ali's. I can't remember if I go
Aye.
there. No, I'm not saying I've been to everywhere, but in Queens, there's Sings. There's a Sings in Queens. I know they probably have about 10 Sings,
Sings,
but
yeah.
but there's
Right.
a Sings in Queens. I don't know if it's Lafayette Boulevard, somewhere around there. That's really good. The roti was good, like soft, nice, flake. Yeah, I feel it for roti now. Yeah, but I would say Trinity
Trinity.
and Sings. And then everything else after. Look at this.
Everything else.
I
No,
don't
and
go-
there's not a lot of Trini places. I
Yeah.
feel like it's much so Jamaican. and-
That is why I have to go to Queens. Queens have a lot more like smaller places.
yeah.
It's more like you just go in and you buy and you leave type thing.
Right.
Queens have a lot, but then also too you mix with like the Guyanese places as well. Sometimes you
Right.
have to be kind of like
Right. Because they
Trinidad
call
is the Guyanese, yeah.
chicken curry.
Yeah, because no, they mix very well. They mix very, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
They make curry too. But sometimes the place would say you feel like it's a Trinity place, but it's
Right.
really a
Oh, it
guy
has
and
the
he's
flag,
yeah,
yeah.
that is really. So-
I go to my cousin has a spot on Flatbush.
Promote them,
Chef,
come on.
Chef Picky.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Piquitas.
yeah, Picky.
I haven't been.
Arapita. They have some nice barbecue.
Mhm.
Sometimes they have oxtail pilau and all that stuff. So yeah, good
Gotta
food
go
there.
I know.
Yeah.
Options.
I don't like doubles here, but like
You ever went to A&E?
yeah, I had that.
Really?
I had the hot pot. I had Trinity. But nothing compares
It's
to
it doesn't-
Side of the road.
yeah, but
Okay.
You
We-
see, I wouldn't know.
South, we talking
Mhm.
South though.
Yeah, of course,
Only,
of course.
I think only South are good doubles.
South where, but
South Trinidad.
He's talking about
South
South Trinidad.
of course I know it's South Trinidad. I'm talking about way in South.
Anywhere in South. Well, meaning it
By the
don't have
roundabout,
it.
by
Once you cross,
You say, we say past
once you cross
Cuba?
like Gasparilla,
Oh, Gasparilla? Oh, good.
Yeah.
you don't buy doubles past there. Everything is.
I mean,
down
you
the road.
might be
Yeah.
alienating part of the man audience here with
Eh?
that, but
No,
I just say it. I just
I mean,
say it.
I know you doubles. I know you doubles.
But you
No,
know,
but it's good
he
too,
have
though.
people from North that doesn't
I like
listen
how
to
it
the
smell.
man.
You
But
don't like doubles?
Me like how
Oh.
it smell at all.
Why?
at all?
I find it
funny.
smell weird. It smell
Yeah,
weird.
So
yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a big doubles eater when
For
I was
real,
younger, but
but
now I
it's
like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
I like how it
them.
smell.
No, I like
It's
it a lot
good
more now.
though.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was worried about
Especially
the
with
smell.
pepper and tamarind.
Oh yeah.
No. But
Yeah.
I don't know how it should taste
She
because
need to come Trinidad.
because
Yeah.
St.
Yeah,
Lucia
yeah.
people don't make doubles.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like the first time I ate them was at Trinidad and Golden Place, and I was like Palace
Weird.
Well,
Palace. I don't know. I was like, ooh, this is really good.
It's
But I don't
amazing.
know because you're like, oh, the Chana or something. I don't even know what
Chana,
Chana
yeah.
is really supposed to taste like.
Yeah. But,
Um,
what is? Tell me. What is a
St. Lucia.
Saint Lucian meal dish?
Like
The most popular one.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
I don't like green figs, saltfish, plantain, one pots.
See the one pot thing,
Pigtails.
right?
I think the one pot is similar to our oil dung. I've seen it.
Yeah, kind of. Green
One
either.
pot is with rice,
No.
No,
No
you,
rice?
you would do like
breadfruit.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
got it.
Yeah, I think
pumpkin.
it's similar to oil dung for
yeah,
us.
and bouillon, which is like very popular, which is like a soup.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we had to try some St. Lucian stuff. She had to go to Trinidad.
I have to go to Trinidad and go to the south and get doubles.
Yeah. I like how you're taking notes too.
Yeah,
Taking
yeah,
notes
yeah.
too. I like that.
How based on your career and how do you based on your career, how do you represent Trinidad? How do you represent the Caribbean in your own way based on your career?
Okay. My accent didn't change, right? My accent didn't change. There are a couple words I say differently because I hate to repeat myself.
Facts.
So 30. If I say 30, people say 13, right?
Yeah,
30, those things. So my accent is the same. Plus I do group classes where I would play like soca music and dancehall and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I am Trini, I'm true to myself, so I don't really have to do much to represent the Caribbean because I just Trini. Anyway. Yeah,
But I
so-
wouldn't say I just get that a lot too. I like being conscious of pronouncing your
Certain
words.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's an accent. But when you're home and you speaking properly, people ask me, where you from?
Yeah.
Where you from? But it's just that you're speaking properly and it's pronouncing your words. But
in a different way because they had to pronounce it that way for them to understand it.
A lot of it come from school too. The
Mhm.
schools that you go to,
Mhm.
different schools, people speak differently.
Very much.
What school you went to?
I went to Pleasantville.
Oh,
Went to
Pelham.
Madeline.
Oh, okay. Cause it's
Why?
Oh no.
I feel like I know
I
where
don't
you
know.
go. I feel
No,
like
no,
I
no,
know where
no.
you want to go with that.
No,
to
I
the
didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that. Like, all right, so people have a convent.
Yeah, that's exactly where you
I have
want to
a
go.
common accent.
No. I'm not saying you have one. I'm not saying you have one. I just asked now. I didn't want to offend you.
Oh, man.
I didn't want
it's
to
like
offend you.
So like
it's-
proper.
Yes,
yeah, it's like a
yeah.
posh,
Like a prep school.
It's a prep
Okay.
school.
You
Yeah.
went to a prep school
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You talk, what they would say here, you talk white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
for,
with the accent.
Yeah.
but for me, I think in Trinidad, I speak slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so right here,
Not too bad.
people understand me now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
Yeah.
I just say certain words differently. Water, 30, again,
Yeah.
like those simple stuff. But other than that,
3.
But yeah, tree. But this is for me.
yeah, 3.
When it comes to for me, I create content. I'm a makeup artist, so I still.
You hear the content.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
You just say
Go on.
Look, she making sure
I
they
create
understand.
content, so I always like still use soca, do carnival content, things like that. And obviously, like, same thing with the accent. I personally hate to say water
Yeah.
because it's not WADER. What is water?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I purposely say, okay, I tell people, like, I'm going to say it in my American voice because water is how we say it. For me, I feel like that is how it should be said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but certain things I feel like obviously become a product of the environment. Like certain things you would say, like slang that's, that's American.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I feel like just keeping your accent. I mean, for me, yeah, no freshwater Yankee.
Yeah,
She's telling me I have an accent now.
And I just buffet my boss, be like, "Ken, not me. Don't do me that." You be like, "Where's the train?" I'm like, "What?"
No. So for me, again, as in the workspace, to be honest with you, there's only so much you could do for me because as I said, I work in the hospital. A lot of the cases, like, you not really do you have protocols, you have things to do, right?
Yeah.
But keeping the accent, as I said, I feel like once you leave Trinidad at a certain age, like you should keep the accent. Like you're pronouncing things all your life like that, But so you're keeping the accent. But what I've noticed is that being out here is like you feel like you're an ambassador to the country because when somebody here, who are you? Right? Where you from? So you tell them Trinidad and Tobago, right? Now they're asking you every question about Trinidad and Tobago. So it's like, it's a good thing I learned social studies and things like that. So that I could remember, even if it's not that you're experiencing it, but like, I being honest with you, like I don't really go carnival like that. But I have spoken about carnival so much. Yeah. Since I've been here,
you talk about it,
history has been like oil and gas, Obama, everything is happening.
So it's like you kind of the people you meet, you're gonna have to like explain about this. So but I actually. Yes, it's a little annoying sometimes, but it's good to keep that refresher, keep that thinking, and then also make me feel closer to home. Like, yeah, I am an ambassador.
Right.
I have a flag in my back pocket. Don't worry about that.
But I also don't think even though I was saying about the freshwater Yankee, I feel like if you want to code switch because it just makes your life easier, then do what you had to do.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, I understand. Trust me.
Yeah, it's just like do what you had to do.
No, I definitely understand.
One thing that is, as I say, annoying. One thing that is annoying is that people don't ask where you're from. They assume that you're from Jamaica.
Yeah. Instantly, when they hear the accent.
Yeah, where you from, Jamaica?
I just make a joke out of it. I'll be like, don't do me that.
Yeah.
I was like, don't ever. I'm like, don't ever say that ever in your life. I'm just, and make a joke out of it because you don't want to embarrass yourself and make it seem like the only island is Barbados and Jamaica. So, I just, I'm going to help you out here.
I feel like real, like, first generation American, like, Caribbean people, they can tell. Because I can hear, like, a Trinidadian person. I'm like, I know you're Trini, or I know you're Jamaican, or
you live in Crown Heights, though.
Yeah, exactly. She hearing that every day.
But I also think social media
like,
helps
also, like, a lot of, like, first generation American Caribbean people, they'll sound like me, and then when they're talking to their family, they will sound like Trini, or they'll sound Jamaican, or they will sound like, it's like the switch is like crazy, so it's interesting too. Yeah.
I think social media too, because of TikTok and just more people being online, I think people could kind of, detect accents now, but before, definitely not.
All right, just we're wrapping up with one last question. What's some advice would you give to someone from the Caribbean considering to move to the USA?
It's not sweet. America is not sweet. You have to be able to work. You have to be able to communicate. It's like dog eat dog. Nobody really gonna give you anything. Networking is important. And I would advise everybody to do something with sales. When I say sales, just learn sales. And not to be a salesperson or to sell insurance or anything like that, but it's either, as out here, is either you're selling a product, you're selling a service, or you're selling yourself, right? I would see people here who they would have probably minimum skill, but the way in which they sell themselves they still are accepted in
Mhm.
certain high paying jobs and
Mhm.
get high paying opportunities and stuff. So you need to be able to sell. And it might sound like crazy, but you do something with communication, you do courses with communication, you do courses with sales, and you should be in a better position once you reach here. And one more thing, just lower your expectations. That's what it is. Lower your expectations, because it's not really like visiting New York is totally different from living here.
Mhm.
It's like every single day you get a bill, bro.
Mhm.
Every single
You breathe
day.
today?
Next
Here's
one.
a
Yeah,
bill.
every single
You
day
walk
is a
outside.
bill. So it's like, nah. So just be open minded. You just know that you need to work hard, you need to network, you need to just continue to network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For me, I would say teach yourself about credit, because the tax man in the US will come for you.
Mhm.
And one book I read is called The Money Book for the Young, Broke, and Fabulous. I taught myself everything that I could about credit because I was just like, this is a new space in Trinidad. You just make your money and you go and you do what you had to do. But definitely teach yourself about credit because that is the determining factor for literally everything that you need. A house, you need a loan, you need whatever, like you're gonna need that. um and I think financial literacy is especially important for Caribbean people that move in here. And then the second one, I think same thing, kind of what you said, is just networking, putting yourself in different spaces. Like I've literally gotten opportunities because I went to an event and I met somebody. So I think sometimes, yes, you don't always have to go and be mixy, but I think if you want to actually like put yourself out there and get opportunities, you're going to have to meet people. And that's why I have like the career that I have today. Is not just because, oh yeah, you could do the job. Like there's a lot of people that's talented, but talent not going to take you the whole way. You have to put yourself in your rooms.
Yeah, I totally agree with the two things you guys were talking about. I think also like learning about how how the world functions in terms of like you were talking about business and credit
Mhm.
and putting yourself out there and communicate. I think business communication and selling yourself is like huge because America is like a little corporation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if you want to be successful in America, you're going to have to learn how to exist within that corporation. So
Mhm.
it's either you're, as you said, selling yourself, selling a product, or selling something.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Not anything, but
but yeah, like financial literacy, knowing how to speak to people, being comfortable around people of different cultures, and being able to put yourself out there and grasping any opportunity that comes to you, I think is really important.
I mean,
Yeah.
all very good points that I have to find my own now. But
Yeah.
I completely agree with all of the things that you all said. But one thing that I little different to it is, and not to say, I just want to be careful. I'm not saying don't, but make sure you want it, because there will be the pitfalls. There will be the issues with the credit and the this and the that, whatever problems that come. You're gonna be in a might be in a bad state. And if you don't want it enough, it could lead you to things that you don't want to do, things that you're not happy with, and you could not live happy. And but I ain't talking about necessarily going to a life of crime or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to make the move here, make sure this is what you actually want.
Mhm.
Right? Like we all gave at the beginning of the podcast, we gave our reasons for coming here. We wanted it.
Mhm.
There was whatever the reason was, this is what we wanted. So for me, like, I know coming here, I've had my issues, my ups and my downs, and what get me through that is that the fact that I know I had a vision and I had a goal and I wanted it. So whoever trying to come, please don't just come for the what do you say, the American dream,
Right.
or for the
Land of
or the
opportunity.
land or the glitz and the glamour, whatever. They just make sure that this is actually what you want. So,
And one more thing is just what I do know too out here, you just can't take things personal. People are gonna tell you no
mm-hmm.
with absolutely no explanation, and you can't just let that bother you. You need to keep going. You need to push through. You're gonna be rejected probably a million times,
Mhm.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's life, right? Life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we're out here different.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
In Trinidad, they give you some kind of explanation on the side.
Yeah.
Somebody watch you dead in the face and say no.
Yeah.
And you there like waited for the rest of you. Just take that dog and walk up. You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll wrap up there. It's a
Mm.
good episode and very insightful for anybody considering to explore the opportunities abroad. And I mean, you hear the wonderful insights from everybody who's here, who has done it before, and who are currently doing it, and the reasons why they've done it, and why they're doing what they're doing, and why they haven't given up. It's a matter of betterment and seeking better for themselves and their family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Thanks
something
for
my
having
dad
me.
told me over like lunch because my mom, her family was like pretty well off, but my dad, he was like super poor. And he was like, I came here, and he was like about to cry too. He's like, like I got my degree, I have a house, I have like a real family, I can buy whatever I want. Like that's what I came here for.
Yeah.
He came in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
It's like
So wait, he met your mom when?
he met my mom here.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't know each other. They would have never known each other.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
That's not happening these days.
Too much people.
Yeah.
you're on IG. Oh, like. So when is the next episode in New York? Emma?
Now I feel out of touch Trinidad. too,
Yeah.
Out of touch Trinidad.
Nah, anytime I come, we can. Anytime I come, but we can do it again. I mean, we have a
January.
studio
mind.
here.
And I don't mind saying that with the bush, saying that outside.
Like outside,
That the bush is a flary episode, and that one is a steamy one.
Yeah.
That one not as civilized as
You
this
prepare,
one.
you prepare for that.
yeah. Now I want to talk some relationship thing.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I like when before you come, Julie.
Like,
She was hitting them some really